how do I go about fabricating a lie? How do I go about spreading fake news? How do I go about making a myth about my neighbor? And I hate him, for example, or let's say I love him and I want to build on this story or whatever. What's the the magic sauce? Like you said, you first take a location.
Look, I mean, I don't know about the neighbor. I don't want to.
No, no, I've
I
never,
want to be in trouble that way.
I've never bitched about anybody in life, but that person I want to say something about. So I desperately need help from a master. I need sensei. Please teach me how do I spread fake news, and please tell me how can what does it take? Okay, I have a physical location. Then next, I take 30% physical
Uh,
location, then 5 grams of what, like some old news. What is it? Please tell me.
See, I think location, of course, that's one thing, but I
Yeah.
think the identification of stories that are in this interesting limbo between myth and history. Okay, I want to go a little one step back and just talk about like maybe Mahabharata right now.
Okay. Okay.
That Mahabharata is a very interesting text. That the first few chapters,
Yeah.
it kind of differentiates, it puts itself, and if you, what I've been, Vivek Debroy's Mahabharata, the first few chapters was something as a later addition to Mahabharata. The original is like the 18, I think 18. Again, I'm no expert in Mahabharata, but the first few chapters that I was reading, and I realized that it refers to its story as itihas,
As itihas.
and as
Yeah.
itihas. So, which is very interesting because according to our modern lexicon, like itihas or its translation in English, which is history,
History.
talks about a factual things that have happened in past,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But this idea of itihas, or at least whoever wrote the first few chapters of Mahabharata,
Hmm.
because that was, as I said, like a later edition, and maybe it was written by subsequent writers,
Yeah.
and many people have kind of
Added
put
to it.
together the text.
Yeah.
So it clearly had an intention to begin with by placing the entire text and saying that this is history.
Yeah.
You're already placing the story as
Uh,
you're already manipulating. You're already manipulating that this text is history,
yeah.
and by saying that, you are legitimizing the stories and the characters and people,
From the
and
first
that
moment. Yeah.
from the first moment, like maybe 500 years back or 7,000 years back, when those verses were first written, and
Yeah.
again, if you understand properly, like Mahabharata or any such text have gone through multiple iterations. It's not
Yeah.
I mean,
One
people
form.
say that about a lot of texts
Yeah.
in this on this earth, that it has come down from the heavens or from the god himself or herself or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So in that sense, to argue against the text is already lost.
Yeah.
The idea of like, अच्छा ये सही है
And
कि गलत है, वो you you
anything,
cannot go into that.
if you say anything against it, then you'll just be uh, like thrashed.
That's used politically, right? Like it's a
Yeah.
political
Weapon. It's
I mean,
weaponized.
weapon also.
Yeah. So in a way,
But
you.
so okay, so the secret ingredient, coming back to that, okay, secret ingredient
I hate it.
is
Yeah.
it has to be in this somewhere in this loop. It has to come out of this somewhere in this loophole. कि
Yeah.
अच्छा ये history है या
Yeah.
story है.
Yeah. Yeah. It should sound believable. It should sound like a known unknown, not like a fully unknown unknown. But again, I have a question I want to ask you. Like,